There are those misguided people who think it is selfish to emphasize self-improvement first. But it is only after self-improvement that you are capable of helping others. When you do just the opposite, when you overgive to others and undergive to yourself, you feel depleted, and you are. This causes within you a sense of lack which is degrading and limiting. Because of this, overgiving to others is self-defeating. It accomplishes nothing constructive. Psychologists talk about the sin of parents who overgive to their children. This suppresses their children's talents, and it overworks the parents. Such overgiving harms everyone concerned. In the recent age of permissiveness, we have witnessed the damaging results of overgiving parents in their confused, bewildered children. Conversely, my own father reluctantly gave as little as possible to his children. The philosophy of undergiving has been a part of his upbringing. It caused us many hardships, and it took me years to overcome the poverty consciousness that resulted. So let us seek to strike a happy balance. The philosophers of old advised, "To thine own self be true." Give something to yourself right away. It might be a new book you wish to read, an item of clothing or jewelry, or something for your home or office. It might be the treat of going out to dinner, to the theater, to a party, or taking a vacation. It might be the deliberate setting aside of some daily time for prayer, meditation, and inspirational study. It might be something big or small, tangible or intangible. The third kind of giving. Third, after giving to God and to yourself, then give something to someone else. After you give something to someone else, bless whatever it is that you give. Bless the person or persons to whom you gave it. Then release both the gift and the recipient. Any man, woman, or child can transform his life by transforming what he gives out, what he gives to God, what he gives to himself, and what he gives out to others. When you aren't sure what to give to others, that is the time to declare, "I give under divine direction." Then, watch the hunches and ideas that come. You'll be shown what to give, where, and to whom. Many of the blessings you want most are within your reach. By your acts of giving, you open the way to attract the blessings you desire. These blessings have probably been waiting to reach you, but they were blocked by your own lack of giving. There was no free channel through which they could pass. By giving under divine direction, you open a channel through which these blessings are freed to arrive. An early prosperity teacher of mine often said, "First give to God, then give to mankind as God directs." The one who did not prepare to receive suffered lack. After you give to God, yourself, and others, then get ready to receive. You can get ready to receive by preparing to receive. There are those who say, "I give, but I do not expect to receive." And they do not. An unhappy lady explained, "I teach a private prosperity class in my home, but I do not take an offering. I give, but I do not believe I should expect to receive." And she didn't. But she resented not receiving. She should have resented not receiving, because she was unbalancing the law of increase by giving, 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 and by not opening the way to receive. It was pointed out to this lady that it was fine to teach such a class, but that she was not only shortchanging herself, she was also shortchanging her students by giving them the impression they could get something for nothing. She should either have charged handsomely for her course or opened the way right there in class for her students to prove the law of increase by extending an invitation for them to give generous tithes and offerings in appreciation for the priceless instruction they were receiving. She was cheating herself, and she was cheating them by her fearful attitude. The one who prepared to receive prospered. It is reported that in the early days of the Unity movement, a visiting metaphysician spoke to the workers employed by the Unity School of Christianity at their headquarters then located in Kansas City, Missouri. The guest speaker was introduced by Unity's co-founder, Charles Fillmore. Early in his talk, this well-meaning but somewhat self-righteous speaker said, "In my ministry, we do not pass the offering plate. We leave one at the back of the room, and if anyone wishes to give something, the plate is available. But I do not stress giving." According to the oft-repeated report, that's as far as he got. Charles Fillmore walked up to the lectern and said, "You may think and teach what you wish in your organization, but in this one, we believe in passing the plate because we know that the law of giving and receiving. Not only do we pass the plate in our meetings, but each plate is always filled to overflowing. Students of practical Christianity want to give so that they can prosper and so they can help this movement to prosper." It is little wonder that Mr. Fillmore later became known as one of the pioneers of positive thinking, or that the Unity movement, which he co-founded, became a successful organization which has inspired millions over the years. You can see how a contrast in attitudes brought a contrast in results. One teacher did not believe in teaching the universal law of giving and receiving and did not. Her students were few. The other teacher did believe in teaching the universal law of giving and receiving, and he became head of a prosperous organization that has helped countless people around the world. You can give up any false ideas you may have had about receiving. Your receiving doesn't stop anyone else's receiving. We live in a lavish universe, and there's plenty for all. How preparing for wealth attracted it. The owner of a charm school was widowed with small children to support. People kept saying, "She is a lovely girl, but nobody wants to marry someone with all those children. That's too much financial responsibility to assume." This attractive widow paid no attention to that kind of talk. She taught prosperity principles in her charm course. She told her students they must develop a prosperous consciousness in order to be charming and successful in every phase of their lives. She did everything that occurred to her personally to prepare to receive a better way of life. She bought a striking gold designer suit which she constantly wore. It cost $200, which is a huge sum for such an item 23 years ago. Once a week she invited me to dine with her, always in the best restaurants, though sometimes she barely had the price of our lunch. Did the act of preparing for greater good attract it to her? She married a widower of third-generation wealth. He had 4 children. He helped her raise 3, and later they had one of their own, a total of 8 children. While everyone around her was talking lack and limitation, she was quietly preparing for just the opposite, and what she prepared for, she got. I find it interesting that none of the people who tried to mentally limit her future ever attracted wealth to themselves. Not through hard work, marriage, or a windfall. The limited thoughts they meant for her, they unwittingly attracted to themselves. Prepare by speaking the word of receiving. Many people's prayers are not answered because they keep asking in prayer, but they do not follow through by getting ready to receive. After you prepare to receive, you are then ready for the next step. Speak the word of receiving, as did the housewife earlier in this chapter. When you daily declare that you are receiving, your words make a believer out of your subconscious mind, which then starts working with you to help make it so.